Excellencies, distinguished members of the podium, representatives of member states, ladies and gentlemen, the International Conference on Nuclear Security, Shaping the Future, is about to begin. You are invited to take your seats.
Just told the Iranian.
Good morning. May I please have your attention? May I have your attention, please? Your Excellencies, distinguished members of the podium, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to Vienna. We are now going to start the conference. It is my pleasure to give the floor to Director General of the IAEA, Rafael Mariano Grossi. Dear DG, the floor is yours.
Can you hear me? No. You can hear me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dear colleagues, thank you. Thank you very much. Before we start with our work, important work for this week, we are all aware of the tragic news from the weekend, and I want to address my dear friend, the Deputy Foreign Minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ambassador Najafi, to invite the whole to join me in observance of a minute of silence in honor of the late President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Dr. Ibrahim Raisi, the Foreign Minister, Hossein Amir Abdollahian, and other members of their delegation who passed tragically yesterday after an accident. So please join me in observing a minute of silence. Thank you very much. Does it continue? Okay. From there? Yes. Thank you very much, dear friends. So we start this very important conference, which is the second ICONS since I became Director General in late 2019. And this morning I was thinking about that last ICONS. Perhaps some of you were there at that time. That conference took place, and in fact it was the last international event we could organize here just before the world closed down for the COVID-19 pandemic. Looking in retrospect and seeing where we are as an international community, and in particular when it comes to the issues we are going to be working on, I think there's good reason to be satisfied with the progress. But we will be discussing this during the conference. Let me start by acknowledging our co-presidents for this very important event. Tim Watts, with whom we met in the past, Member of Parliament and Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs, and the Vice Minister of Energy of the Republic of Kazakhstan, Mr. Sungat Yesimkhanov. Thank you very much for your work. And let me also recognize the important work of the ambassadors here of Australia and, of course, of Kazakhstan, who have been tirelessly working, convening the community to try to converge on important ideas that are going to be, the conference is about shaping the future, shaping the deliberations. And I want to thank them for their very, very important efforts in this regard. So thank you very much for the leadership, which is indispensable. So as I was saying, in early 2020, of course, we would not imagine, or we were not imagining the kinds of challenges that we would be having in terms of the pandemic, as I just mentioned, but also international security at large. But when it comes to nuclear applications, nuclear techniques and applications, when it comes to issues having to do with nuclear energy proper, we have seen very, very important changes. In terms of the expansion of the role of nuclear techniques and applications, the agency has been moving forward in a very decisive way, offering to the whole membership services and programs that are trying to put this indispensable scientific tool that we have at the service of the women and men of all our countries. And this, as you know, have materialized in things like Rays of Hope, our program to expand radiotherapy and access to nuclear medicine all over the world. It has materialized through Atoms for Food, the way in which we put nuclear technology at the service of our economies and the food and agriculture activities which are so important to all our countries. It has to do with the protection of the environment and how, through programs like New Tech Plastics, we are putting nuclear techniques and applications at the service of the protection of the planet. It has to do with Zodiac, how we from the nuclear community are helping in the global efforts to prevent zoonosis and zoonotic diseases getting into a terrible pandemic like the one I was referring to when remembering the previous icons in 2020. And also in nuclear energy. COP28 was a real watershed when all countries, nuclear users and those who do not choose nuclear energy, but all of them agreeing that nuclear energy should be accelerated as a part of the efforts to face the common challenge we have, which is climate change and global warming. All of these things connect directly with this conference today. Why? Because with more nuclear activity, with an increased need and demand from our economies for more nuclear activity in whichever way it may be, from a nuclear reactor to a radiotherapy facility in a developing country, this must be done in the right way. And done in the right way means one thing, having the ability to put in place the norms, to put in place the normative infrastructure and also the practices, the very concrete practices that are needed to make sure that nuclear material is well protected. This is why all these developments I am referring to internationally have a direct impact, or you are having a direct impact in all of them. Because if we don't get things right, all our best efforts might not result in good outcomes and might even lead to unwanted situations or accidents. This is why nuclear security was important, is important, and will always be important. Nuclear security is not a hindrance to technology access. It is an enabler. It is something that we owe not only to the international community or other countries. It is something that we owe to our own societies, because we must give assurances to our people, our peoples, that all these great developments and achievements are done in a way that will only bring benefits. And for this, we need safety, but we also need security. And the IAEA, as your home, as the global house for nuclear cooperation, is the place that we need to use and benefit from in or through events like ICONS. So I'm very happy to see this global participation, growing participation, which indicates and confirms these trends. In terms of what the agency has been doing, I think it's also very important to see that we, in these past 4 years, since the last ICONS, have also been registering enormous progress when it comes to the number of countries acceding to the only treaty that we have in nuclear security, which is the Convention on the Physical Protection of Nuclear Material, as amended, which has been an important and crucial milestone when we talk about the Code of Conduct and the supplementary guidance that we have on the uses of nuclear material. These are all important instruments that you have at your disposal to be applied nationally. And they also represent a common denominator. For those who can do more, great. But for those who cannot do everything, they at least have this point of reference, which is embodied in these very important instruments. But at the same time, we need the infrastructure to do that. during the silent days of the pandemic and the lockdowns, the IAEA was working, and we turned an open lot into a fantastic nuclear security training and demonstration center in Cybersol. For those who have been visiting, and for those who haven't, I really encourage you to go there, because this is the first international center for nuclear security training, preparation, information, and courses being given. Many countries in the whole already had such centers of excellence. But of course, we need a place where we can gather internationally and where we can provide all this information, these courses that allow our homeland safety, security personnel be up to the task. This is why we are so enthusiastic about these years that have been years where we have really gained a lot in terms of what we do. So, dear friends, I believe that in the course of this week, you are going to be discussing different angles, those that have to do with the technical aspects of the work, those who have to do with the legal aspects of our work. But in any case, a week where we are going to be reaffirming that this motto of ours, of Atoms for Peace and Development, is a mission that is done in security, in safety for all our peoples. So I thank you very much for your attendance. I thank again the co-presidents for their leadership, and I really look forward to a successful week here in Vienna. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director General. Your Excellencies, distinguished members of the podium, representatives of member states, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm honored to give the floor to the co-presidents of the 2024 International Conference on Nuclear Security, His Excellency Mr. Tim Watts, Assistant Minister for Foreign Affairs of Australia, and His Excellency Mr. Sungat Yisimkhanov, Vice Minister of Energy of Kazakhstan, so that they may deliver their opening remarks and open the conference officially. Assistant Minister Watts, please, Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, Director General, fellow co-presidents, ministers, distinguished colleagues, I would like to begin by recognising that we meet in a challenging time. We express condolences for the deaths of President Rossini and Foreign Minister and others in that crash overnight in northern Iran. It is my pleasure to welcome you here to the 2024 International Conference on Nuclear Security, ICONS. The past 4 years have been a time of momentous change for nuclear security. Far from abating, global tensions have evolved into new, more complex conflict environments with newer weapons and diverse, sophisticated actors. In parallel, there has been a remarkable growth in the use of nuclear technology in recognition of its benefits to mankind, to humankind. In this context, the risk that malign actors will access and misuse nuclear materials has increased. A strong and sustainable nuclear security system has never been more imperative. If there was ever a time for strong ministerial commitment to strengthening nuclear security, that time is now. Our attendance at ICONS, a key event for our global nuclear security community, signals our shared commitment to strengthening nuclear security. It provides an opportunity for us to progress aligned commitments and priorities and to work closely on our respective national nuclear security regimes. I would like to acknowledge the sustained efforts of member states to arrive at an ambitious ministerial declaration. I would like to thank Kazakhstan for co-chairing the negotiation process with Australia and welcome the active engagement and flexibility of Member States in these negotiations. It is disappointing that despite being very close on reaching consensus, we were ultimately unable to achieve agreement. The co-president's statement reflects a compromise agreed to by the majority of us here today and captures the political will and commitment of Member States to further strengthen nuclear security into the future. It is my hope as co-president that alignment with this co-president statement will guide and further strengthen efforts of Member States as well as the work of the IAEA for enhancing nuclear security into the future. Distinguished delegates, nuclear science and technology can make a positive and considerable difference to people's lives. As a world-leading producer of nuclear medicines to diagnose and treat cancer and other diseases, Australia recognises the important role of nuclear security in facilitating the peaceful uses of the atom, in building public confidence in the use of nuclear technology, and in ensuring the protection of our communities. Australia recognises the unique expertise and the role that the IAEA plays. The IAEA's central role of fostering international cooperation in nuclear security is crucial. We particularly welcome the increasing number of capacity-building activities offered by the IAEA. Fair access to knowledge and resources is a crucial aspect of future planning, fortifying against nuclear security threats and seizing opportunities. This principle is evident in Australia's collaborative efforts with our regional partners on nuclear security. In April of this year, Australia hosted an IAEA nuclear security workshop that brought together 20 Indo-Pacific island nations. The workshop provided a forum to share experiences and encourage the uptake of the IAEA's Integrated Nuclear Security Sustainability Plan mechanism and IAEA membership among Indo-Pacific countries. One of the key outcomes of the workshop was the realisation for many of the island states that nuclear security is relevant for their countries. They may not have a nuclear reactor, but they have radiological sources, they have X-ray devices and much more. And this is one of the reasons why we are such strong advocates of regional-based training, regional networks and collaboration. This is why Australia is committed to working with the IAEA to provide ongoing support to and collaboration with our Pacific Island family on nuclear security. Distinguished delegates, the theme of ICON's 2024 is Shaping the Future. This is the perfect time for all of us to take stock of our existing nuclear security commitments and to maximise the benefits of emerging technologies while mitigating the potential risks that they may present to nuclear security. Take AI, for example. We need to shape relevant AI rules and norms to protect nuclear and related facilities from malicious cyber activity that could compromise nuclear security. A global effort is required to manage these complex and evolving challenges. We need your expertise as the practitioners, the policymakers, and the academics. We need your expertise, whether you're in the private sector or in an NGO. We need to work together on shared challenges and respond collectively. Distinguished delegates, Australia's commitment to the Women, Peace and Security agenda is steadfast and enduring. We know that diversity, equity and inclusion are central to establishing and maintaining peace and security. This applies to nuclear security, where the full, equal and meaningful participation and leadership of women is an essential element. Australia is proud to partner with the Republic of Kazakhstan to host a side event at ICONS providing practical insights and actionable guidance on gender equality and inclusive leadership as positive drivers of the future of nuclear security. The global community is grappling with emerging risks and threats to nuclear security. As they evolve, so must our nuclear security frameworks and responses. It's good to have so many of you here at ICONS 2024. Our discussions this week will help to shape the IAEA's next nuclear security plan and ultimately advance the global nuclear security agenda. Strong leadership and shared commitments are essential if we are to keep the world safe and secure from the threat of nuclear terrorism. Let me conclude by extending Australia's sincere appreciation to you, Co-President, Vice Minister for Energy, Sungat Yasemikanov, and your entire team for the combined efforts and collaborative spirit shown during the ICON's 2024 preparatory process. My appreciation also goes to the Program Committee for their significant efforts in helping to deliver the scientific and technical program of ICONs. Last but not least, I extend my personal recognition to the IAEA Director General, Rafael Grossi, and his team within the IAEA Secretariat for their dedication and tireless efforts to deliver a comprehensive, thought-provoking and engaging conference for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, Vice Minister Selikhanov, please, the floor is yours.
Before I start, I would like to express my condolences to Iranian delegation and people of tragic news from yesterday. Mr. Co-President, Mr. Director General, Excellencies and colleagues, it is my privilege and honor to welcome you all today as we open the International Conference on Nuclear Security, symbolically entitled Shaping the Future. This is indeed the forum of ministers, policymakers, and nuclear security experts from around the world who are committed to shaping our better future in such an important field as nuclear security. In this regard, I am pleased to co-chair this important event with Mr. Tim Watts and to thank both the permanent mission of Australia and Kazakhstan for their efforts in preparing the ministerial segment of the conference. My sincere gratitude also goes to the co-chairs of the Program Committee for their skillful leadership in preparing the scientific and technical program of ICONS 2024. I also appreciate the personal efforts of Director General Rafael Mariano Grossi and his professional team. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this ICONS comes at a critical time for international nuclear security. The international community today faces many different challenges. At the same time, products of artificial intelligence and advanced computing technologies offer new opportunities that strengthen national nuclear security regimes. As new technologies continue to evolve, we must adapt our nuclear security measures to mitigate potential risks and reap the benefits of the technologies. In this regard, the establishment of robust national nuclear security regimes and the universalization of core legal instruments will ensure a guaranteed nuclear energy chain for humanity. Kazakhstan is a party to the main legal instruments in nuclear security, and we call upon member states to adhere to them. We also commend the IAEA's role in preventing and responding to acts and threats of nuclear terrorism in developing nuclear security requirements and guidelines, and in providing advisory services and capacity building to member states. Dear friends, since its independence, Kazakhstan has pursued an effective national model to achieve a nuclear weapon-free world by voluntarily renouncing nuclear weapons in 1991. The concept of disarmament, non-proliferation, and peaceful use of nuclear energy has become an essential part of Kazakhstan's national identity. Ensuring the nuclear security of the former Semipalatinsk nuclear site was the first major challenge for newly independent Kazakhstan. Together with our international partners, we have sealed all nuclear test tunnels and shafts, removed weapons usable material, and secured the vast area of the test site against unauthorized access and illegal transfers. All our nuclear facilities used for peaceful purposes have been properly secured and protected from potential threats. Kazakhstan fully supports the UN's urgent call for concrete action to protect our environment for future generations. As the world's leading exporter of uranium, providing 40% of the global supply, Kazakhstan plays a crucial role in carbon-free power generation on a global scale. Kazakhstan made a bold leap forward by adopting a strategy on achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. Under the strategy, we pay special attention to developing nuclear and hydrogen energy, renewable energy, and converting coal-fueled facilities to gas. As Kazakhstan embarks on its first nuclear guidelines and recommendations to build a robust nuclear safety and security environment around the future nuclear power plant, Kazakhstan has contributed to the non-proliferation regime and sustainable development of nuclear energy by hosting the unique IAEA Low-Enriched Uranium Bank. Moreover, we continue to implement research reactor conversions projects aimed at converting highly enriched uranium fuel to low-enriched uranium fuel, thereby helping to reduce the risk of nuclear proliferation. Just last year, we successfully completed the conversion of another research reactor at the National Nuclear Center of Kazakhstan, which is now fully operating on low-enriched fuel. Excellence, the ICONS 2024 platform under the auspices of the IAEA provides a unique opportunity to reaffirm at the ministerial level our commitments to promote the peaceful uses of nuclear energy and to meet all necessary international obligations in the field of nuclear security. Through our collective efforts, we can ensure that nuclear technologies are used safely for the benefit of humankind and shape better future for generations to come. Thank you. Mr. Director General, distinguished guests and heads of national delegation and conference participants, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the International Conference of Nuclear Security, Shaping the Future, which has been organized by the International Atomic Energy Agency. This conference aims to provide a forum for ministers, policymakers, senior officials, and nuclear security experts to formulate and exchange views on expertise and achievements, current approaches, future directions, and priorities for nuclear security. We trust that during the course of this week, The conference will raise awareness to maintain and future strengthen both national nuclear security regimes and international cooperating in strengthening nuclear security globally, and will highlight those areas that may need more focused attention. We hope that delegations will reaffirm and support the central role of the IAEA in strengthening the nuclear security framework globally and in leading the coordination of international activities in the field of nuclear security. Together with my co-president, Assistant Minister Watts, we hereby declare the conference open.
Many thanks. It is now my honour to invite the co-presidents of ICON 2020, Sustaining and Strengthening Efforts, Her Excellency Ms. Anna Cristina Tinka, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs and Secretary of State for Strategic Affairs of Romania, and Ambassador Dario Chiru of Panama, to reflect on the transition from the 2020 conference to our conference today. Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Director General, co-chairs, distinguished participants. It is my pleasure to be here today at the 4th International Conference on Nuclear Safety, and I would like to thank the Director General of the IAEA for maintaining this topic on the international agenda. Before entering into the substance of my statement, let me join others in expressing our condolences in relation with the helicopter crash yesterday. 4 years ago, together with Panama, Romania presided over this conference, and including from that perspective, I want to commend our current co-chairs, Australia and Kazakhstan, for their contribution to the success of ICON's 2024. I would also like to convey my gratitude to our distinguished co-chairs for their relentless efforts over the past months to agree a ministerial statement. We regret the fact that in the end agreement was not possible, but Romania aligned itself to the co-chair joint summary, and we believe that the document captures the determination of the international community to improve nuclear security. In 2020, we have collectively shown our determination to make significant progress. We agreed upon a wide range of elements essential for further advancing on the path of nuclear security globally. It is in this spirit that we would like to highlight the importance of maintaining these commitments and actions, principles and responsibilities for a safer, more secure world. While the 2020 ICON's conference focused on sustaining and strengthening our efforts, this year's theme focuses rightly on the future. Distinguished participants, as mentioned here, we meet indeed in very complex time. The international security is gravely affected by unprecedented threats and challenges. Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine is raising nuclear security concerns unseen before. Extensive attacks on civilian energy infrastructures in Ukraine were preceded by the illegal seizure of the Zaporozhye nuclear power plant. These are highly disturbing events, and they have significantly raised the risk of nuclear accident with potential severe consequences for Ukraine and beyond. As a neighboring country, Romania would like to commend the IAEA Director General for his work and that of the courageous agency staff in ensuring that a nuclear incident at Ukraine's nuclear facilities does not take place while respecting Ukrainian sovereignty and territorial integrity. Our commitment to Ukraine remains strong, and we fully support the joint statement in this regard. Amid increasingly volatile risks to nuclear security, including from nuclear terrorism, insider threats, as well as the potential misuse of nuclear materials, remain significant challenges to the international peace and security. The evolving threats encompass a diverse set of actors, potentially accentuated by technological advancements. We strive to advance the state of practice for insider threat mitigation, and we continue to show our commitment by endorsing the revisions to the joint statement on mitigating insider threats put forward by Belgium and the United States. Distinguished participants, although nuclear security is within the responsibility of each member state, it also requires collaboration. We look towards governments and international organizations to come together to share their expertise, best practices, and facilitate the identification of effective solutions. The IAEA has proven its central role in coordinating global efforts and assisting member states to implement effective nuclear security. Romania strongly supports the work of the agency, which continues to provide a valuable contribution to international peace and security. The agency is also indispensable in the development of international security guidance, the provision of support to member states, and the coordination of nuclear security activities. As a founding member of the IAEA, Romania has extensive knowledge and experience in developing a nuclear program exclusively for peaceful purposes for more than a half century. As a country known for its high standards and expertise, we are proud of our efforts and investments, and we will continue to strengthen our domestic nuclear safety and security. In ensuring nuclear security, we highlight the need for preparedness and effective response to any potential nuclear incidents. The Romanian National Commission for Nuclear Activities Control has developed a strong collaboration with the IAEA, contributing with technical experts and active participation of national experts in peer review missions. Through actions such as the 2023 Integrated Regulatory Review Service mission undertaken by IAEA experts in Romania, we have been able to showcase our systematic approach in addressing the interface of safety and security in regulatory oversight program for nuclear power plants. Furthermore, Romania's regulatory infrastructure for nuclear safety and security has been strengthened through the enhancement of nuclear safety, security, and emergency preparedness in Romania project. Completed this year with financing from the Norway grants and supported by the IAEA, this project led to the establishment of a new emergency information and training center, thus showing our commitment towards preparedness. Furthermore, our Nuclear and Radioactive Waste Energy Agency, with valuable support through the IAEA Technical Cooperation Program, commits to strengthen the national infrastructure for the safe and secure management of radioactive waste. We also operate a nuclear forensics laboratory within the auspices of our National Institute for R&D in Physics and Nuclear Engineering. This has allowed for the development of a unified nuclear forensics approach as a tool for the growth of nuclear security. This is an opportunity to facilitate connections and mutual nuclear forensics assistance and information sharing between countries. Excellencies, distinguished colleagues, international cooperation stands at the basis of technological progress in the field of nuclear energy. By working with the United States and other key partners, Romania is determined to develop its nuclear energy program through enhancing large-scale production capacity and deploying the innovative small modular nuclear reactor technologies. Within our development process, we are committed to ensuring nuclear safety and security during the design, development, and deployment phases. To this end, we are actively participating in the Nuclear Harmonization and Standardization Initiative launched by the IAEA Director General. At national level, we put an emphasis on the early stage of SMR development, and we are keen to ensure that advancements in civil nuclear energy technologies will bring a positive contribution to achieving our climate goals. Our support is evidenced not only by our actions at national level, but also to the support we lend to the IAEA Atoms for Net Zero initiative. It is also our view that a nuclear security regime remains a critical element for the advancement of nuclear energy globally, and we will continue to take actions described in the joint statement on advanced nuclear energy technologies. In concluding, let me reassure you of Romania's strong determination for continuing strengthening the nuclear security. We aim to uphold our commitments and contribute to furthering achievements made by fostering cooperation with international partners and continuing our relentless support to the work of the IAEA. I wish us all a very successful event. Thank you very much for your attention.
I thank Deputy Minister Tinker for the statement. It is now my honour to invite His Excellency Ambassador Dario Chiru of Panama to also reflect on the transition from the 2020 conference to our conference today. Ambassador Chiru.
Muchas gracias, señor copresidente. Señor copresidente Tim Watts, viceministro de Relaciones Exteriores de Australia, señor viceministro de Energía de Kazajstán, Sunsat Yesin Kanov, señor Rafael Mariano Grossi, director general del Organismo Internacional de Energía Atómica, distinguidas jefes y distinguidos jefes de delegaciones. Quisiera en primer lugar, antes de iniciar mis palabras, expresar nuestras condolencias al pueblo y el gobierno de la República Islámica del Irán por la irreparable pérdida de sus más altas autoridades. Sean mis primeras palabras ante esta ICONS 2024 para extender mis sinceras felicitaciones a los dos copresidentes de esta conferencia que con maestría han conducido nuestros trabajos preparatorios hacia el éxito, así como agradecer al señor director general y a la Secretaría por su apoyo eficiente y metódico para la preparación y organización de esta importante reunión. En mi capacidad de copresidente saliente del ICONS 2020, junto con nuestros amigos de Rumania, me complace constatar los significativos logros del ICON 2020, la cual marcó un hito en los esfuerzos globales para continuar promoviendo la conciencia y el compromiso global con el fortalecimiento efectivo y comprensivo de la seguridad nuclear de todas las instalaciones nucleares. La conferencia 2020 dejó claramente establecido que a cada Estado le corresponde asumir plenamente la responsabilidad de la seguridad nuclear en sus fronteras, de conformidad con sus obligaciones internacionales y las respectivas legislaciones nacionales, mientras que a la OIEA le corresponde seguir asumiendo su papel crucial de coordinación y asesoría técnica en la materia con miras a poner a disposición, a solicitud de los Estados interesados, las asistencias necesarias para cumplir su responsabilidad. Distinguidas delegaciones, la compleja coyuntura internacional que hoy enfrentamos ha renovado la importancia de redoblar nuestros esfuerzos para fortalecer nuestras estructuras políticas en materia de seguridad nuclear, no proliferación y desarme. En esta nueva edición de ICONS, la seguridad nuclear enfrenta crecientes retos y amenazas emergentes ante el desarrollo y proliferación de tecnologías innovadoras, incluidos la inteligencia artificial y la producción acelerada de los reactores pequeños o modulares. Sin embargo, las tecnologías emergentes también ofrecen nuevas oportunidades para fortalecer nuestras capacidades con miras a garantizar la seguridad nuclear para todos. Mi delegación no abriga dudas que esta magna conferencia sabrá sobreponerse a los graves desafíos que enfrentamos y dará pasos decisivos en pro de un mundo más seguro en el que la energía nuclear y las tecnologías y aplicaciones nucleares sean utilizadas para el progreso de los pueblos. Mi delegación augura sus mejores deseos para que esta conferencia ICON 24 logre empinarse por encima de las circunstancias para legarnos lineamientos y compromisos que contribuyan a avanzar a la consolidación de la seguridad nuclear, superando obstáculos en aras del bien común. Muchas gracias.
I thank Minister Chiru for the statement.
Well, thank you, Your Excellency. Distinguished guests, before proceeding further, we would like to show you a short film which provides a glimpse of the roles we all play in nuclear security.
The threat to facilities that have nuclear and other radioactive material is real and requires continuous vigilance. It is crucial to protect them against nuclear terrorism and other malicious acts to ensure international peace and security. What does it take to keep the world's nuclear sites and radioactive materials secure? What do you do for nuclear security?
I protect technical systems from cyber attacks.
I help make the rules to control nuclear facilities and activities.
I check the rules are followed.
I keep nuclear and other radioactive materials secure.
I ensure that nuclear technology cannot get misused.
I support international cooperation for strengthening nuclear security.
I train experts in nuclear security.
I give decision makers scientific and technical data they need.
I stay vigilant so others can travel safely.
I stay vigilant so others can attend an event without a fear of attack.
I stay vigilant so that others can get radiotherapy they need safely and securely.
I stay vigilant so that others can benefit from cutting-edge research.
I stay vigilant so that others can enjoy energy security.
We all need to be vigilant.
Nuclear security is in our hands.
Nuclear science and technology are huge forces for good. They help us address the world's biggest challenges, from energy to food. Nuclear security is a key enabler. It is in your hands, and the IAEA is supporting you.
What will you do for nuclear security today?
Well, I trust that this film will have set the tone for the days to come, and you will look forward for the discussions at the technical sessions, which will start tomorrow. The film highlights the importance of nuclear security and the roles each of us feel in ensuring the nuclear security of tomorrow. So now I would like to give the floor to His Excellency Watts, please.
Thank you. Director General, distinguished delegates, many thanks. Australia and Kazakhstan have worked hard to prepare a ministerial declaration for adoption at this conference. I would like to commend member states for the great spirit of cooperation, flexibility and good faith that they have displayed throughout the preparation and consultation process since the start of this year. We know adopting a united ministerial declaration requires all delegations to walk the extra mile and demonstrate utmost flexibility in the spirit of consensus. Those of you in Vienna know this concept well. Nevertheless, it is unfortunate that one delegation could not join consensus on the ministerial declaration. We were proud that we had developed a document that, although representing a compromise and not as ambitious as some may have hoped, had the support of every member state and was able to strengthen the international commitment to nuclear security. While we do not have a ministerial declaration for adoption here today, Vice Minister Yesemenkov and I have issued a joint statement, fully informed by the substantial and productive negotiations undertaken over the last 3 months. It is our hope that this joint statement recognises not just the commitment of Australia and Kazakhstan to reinforce our efforts to strengthen nuclear security, but those of all member states. With that, we ask all delegations to align with this joint statement in your national statements and to join us in strengthening nuclear security and shaping its future for the benefit of all. Thank you. The text of the co-president statement has been circulated to all delegations prior to the start of this meeting. It is now being distributed in English to all delegations in hard copy. and the statement will be released to the public in all official languages of the agency following the end of the conference.